What's going on, guys? Jada Black here. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in. I want to talk about a
Wow.
story in regards to a Colombian bodybuilder who goes by the name of She-Hulk. Well, it's Amy Muscle, right? Amy Muscle is what they call her, or what she calls herself on her Instagram. But her real name is Zunilda Hoyas Mendez. She was 43 years old. And she lost her life because her husband, who you see in the photos there, his name is, well, he's 40.
She-Hulk be on some steroid, man. What the?
Well, he was 46 years old. His name is Jared Gelling. He's actually American. He's actually American, and he's living overseas. It looks like with her, and they both are into bodybuilding. But it seems like she was the star of the marriage, and apparently they had just came back from a trip to Dubai. I believe she was in a competition, right?
Okay, okay.
And he ended up taking her life. He bludgeoned her to her demise, and then he took his own life. You
What
know,
a
I just
mess.
recently made a video about a couple who was getting a divorce, and the husband decided to take his wife's life. They had separated, but they weren't fully divorced. She had already moved on to somebody else, and maybe he was shell shocked by that. And also, her speaking about their marriage on a podcast, I think it drove him over the edge. Not only did he take both of their lives, he ended up having his life taken by a police officer. But this guy
What
right
a
here took his life
mess.
after he took the life of his wife because he could not deal with what he had done. He had destroyed her life and he destroyed his own life. He crashed out because she didn't want to be with him anymore. They were getting a divorce, and he couldn't take it because him as an American, he's with this woman who is from another country. I believe he's living overseas with her. And the fact that her bodybuilding career looks like it was taken off. I don't know where. I don't know if he has one. Maybe his bodybuilding career has failed, and he just couldn't take all that failure. And he took
That's one thing we're not gonna do. We're not gonna assume here, but we're just gonna keep listening, right?
the coward's way out. Instead of him leaving, see, the strong thing to do is to leave. That's the strongest thing you can do as a man is leave. But these men can't do this because these are weak men. We are in a
I agree
society
with that.
full
I
of weak
agree with
men
that. He's a weak
who
man. He's not a.
pedestalize
He's a
women.
male.
And when that woman shatters that that dream that they had of what they thought, they don't know how to deal with it. Rejection to them is death.
See, that's the thing, right? You meet this woman, and you're like, wow, so beautiful, so majestic, so sweet, so nice. And then you have this movie about her. You have this fantasy of what life could look like with her. And you're counseling with the devil the thoughts, and he give you this great feeling. And she might be, yeah, it's a great guy, looks nice, tall, attractive, muscular. And she's in her own movie now about this guy. Oh, this guy is really nice. You're judging him, and he's judging you, and you both come up with this movie, your own movie in your imagination, in your thoughts, and saying, "Oh, life is gonna be great," and you miss the entire point. You miss the entire point in the first place to see who you're talking to. You miss the point of getting to see who this person is because you're already in a movie. You already plan your life out with this guy or with this woman. You already have a preconception of what life will look like down there in the future that does not exist. And you have dreamy eyes and you can't see the evil in them or the evil in yourself that you need to work on. And you end up being two evil people in a relationship. But let's continue the video because I'm sure we're gonna get more details about it.
They don't want to live anymore.
Weak males
And
being
that's
controlled
why
by
I say these
women.
men are weak. This, like I said, with the
I will agree with that.
story,
I will agree with that, Jada
he
Black.
couldn't take the fact that his wife was looking better. She was advancing in her influence, her career, and he was just a nobody. And no one that.
I don't think that is the case. But let's continue. You just couldn't control her anymore, or she couldn't control him anymore. Because they both, when people get into a relationship, they're like, oh, it feels so good. But that feeling is not love, it's hate. Because if it was love, how could it turn out to be this way, where he kill her and then take his life? If someone that loves you, well, not the emotionally feel good love that I'm talking about. If someone truly loves you and that love come from God, they would never do that because you will understand. And you'd be like, oh, you want a divorce? Okay, bye Felicia, bye Nick, bye Jim, bye whoever comes in your life because you understand. Right? But let's continue.
And he felt that way, you know. I'm
He
saying
felt that way. Of course he did. He's one with his emotions. What do you expect? That's love, right?
that because he felt that way because obviously he had nothing to live for because he took her life and his because he had nothing to live for because without.
That's not true. Come on now, Jada Black. I disagree with you on that one, man. I disagree with you. There's plenty of things to live for. Plenty. But when you're controlled by the woman and made the woman your God, and she's gonna leave you, you're like, oh, there's nothing to live for. You're panicking. You're one with your emotion. The devil is lying to you. Life is beautiful to live and experience. And he has nothing to live for, so I disagree with that point. But let's continue.
Without her, he has no life. A lot of cowardly, weak men out here who are crashing out.
I can agree with that at the end where he says, you know, without her, there's no life. Because you make the woman your God.
Because
and when she leaves, you're like, oh no, baby, don't go. What's that song Michael Bolton sing like? When a man loves a woman, woo, he will give up anything for that woman. Even if that woman is doing wrong, he cannot see because he's in love. You know what I'm saying, man? That's crazy.
And I'm going to continue to point this out because somebody needs to. Because a lot of you married men are under this delusion that I guess your wife only wants you or she'll never leave. You always have to prepare for the worst. You always have to say, you know what if this marriage doesn't work? I have to move on. But they can't do that because these guys built up this delusion. And I guess because he was an American, he felt some sort of superiority complex. And then when this woman doesn't want him anymore, it makes him bitter to the point to where it bludgeons her to her demise.
You know the funniest thing regarding this kind of relationship is he's just like his mama, controlling, insecure, and he wants company because people are afraid to be alone, just like mama. Just like mama. He's just like his mother. Just like that. I'm pretty sure this woman is just like her mother too, because all who is born of the flesh hates their mother and they need to die and need to be reborn of the spirit, because there's no love like a mother's love. A mother loves will kill you. He will have you do killings, just like what is happening here, which is crazy, man. That's wild.
It's very personal, by the way. Then he takes his own life because he can't deal with the ramifications of his choice. We have a society full of weak men. This is why the red...
He didn't even make those choices. He was, see, he was one with his emotions. And anyone that is one with his emotions, anyone that is passionate, anyone that tells you, oh, anger is good, be aware of them. An angry person is a murderer. And a person that is one with their emotions is a murderer. Because that emotion will flip. Because it's the thoughts that comes first. And because you think it and you feel it, you think it's you, but it's just because you can't catch the thoughts first that you don't realize that the thoughts are driving you, because you will feel the emotions, but you won't catch the thought first. But it's the thought that comes first, then gives you the emotion, and then you go off the emotions because you're not realizing that it's the thoughts that's driving you. And the thoughts comes from the devil. You're one with the devil. Anyone that's passionate, emotionally driven, feels good, feel bad, they're crazy. And I love when women throw the word out there like, you need to be emotionally, what's the word that they use? Emotionally educated or emotionally something. I don't know. Let me know in the comment section. I don't really listen to most women when they're taught because they're evil. So I just let it go 2 ears and go out the other. Like, what's the point? They've made the devil their god, so why should I even listen to them? They're gonna want me in hell with them, right? So it's just funny, man.
Pill will always be undefeated. You don't see red pill men crashing out over women. You never.
But the red pill, there's actually a problem with the red pill. There's a problem with it, but we'll leave that for another video. Anytime that specific topic comes up, you know. But let's just say this: they judge women, and the woman judge them, and nothing changes. Because if the man ain't right, how can the woman be right when God gave you a role to be a leader, to be to be his representative or representer of him in a family or in the household or in general of leadership? You ain't right, so do you expect the woman to be right? Like, that just doesn't make sense, right?
Well, why would we crash out over a woman that's replaceable? Now, I'm not talking about this particular woman here. I'm just saying in general. A lot of you men are just, you show who you really are, and you show that you have no self-worth, no value in yourself. You value the woman that you're with.
Haha, we can agree with that. We can agree with that.
Not in being a man in society, not in the accomplishments that you have, but in the woman that you are with.
But even when you accomplish things, it builds up an ego. You identify with the ego. So even if you get a woman in your life and she may do something that you don't like, you're gonna feel disrespected and you're gonna lash out at her. So really, there's so much to unpack, man. It's crazy. But when you're able to see these things spiritually, because the war is not physically, it's against principalities and spirits. That's what we're fighting against. But most people go off physical stuff, right? And this woman, she looks good. She's a bodybuilder. She built her career. She has an ego. She's prideful. She has strife, envy. She might be jealous too. The guy is definitely jealous, right? They're evil. It's two evil people fighting for control. That's it.
Pedestalizing and you're worshiping women, and when those women disappoint you,
You crash out.
You crash out and destroy lives. So let's get into the story, TMZ.
But that is caused by the mothers and the fathers, because they weren't great examples. So how do you expect children to grow up? They're gonna grow up and be just like their mothers and father, because there was no example set for them. So really, what are we teaching in society? To go and look for a woman so you can feel good about yourself? Go and look for a man so you can feel good about yourself? And when the woman doesn't meet your expectation or the man doesn't meet your expectation, or when you're married and you claim them, they can't. When you marry and you claim them, she belongs to you now. So if she does any little thing, it ticks you off. Oh no, that's not the way, because you own her now. She needs to listen to you. Buddy, relax. Oh. You marry her. She wasn't even listening to you from the first place, but you marry her. Whose fault is it? Really now? A woman that is gonna listen to you is a Christ-like woman, and she understands her role and her purpose. Clearly, this woman is about her bodybuilding career. Think, but guess what? No, she's beautiful. She's working out. She's nice. Satan lied to you, man. You listen to the devil. What a mess.
So Nilda Hoyas Mendez, 43 years old, Colombian bodybuilder known as She-Hulk, was found bludgeoned to death with a hammer.
Oh, and she's Colombian.
This week, and her husband was also
Flashback story time. I was with this one Colombian girl, man. She was crazy. She's crazy. And at the time, I was crazy too, because I wanted control over her and she wanted control over me. And we'll both fight for control in that relationship. You know? So it's just funny, but everyone struggles with the same thing. They struggle with the devils inside of each other. And yet they try to control the devil inside the other person instead of looking within and realize the devil's inside of you. And it is inside of that person. And there's nothing you can do about it inside yourself or inside of that person. More than God says, come as you are. Bring it all to God, man. He's the only one that can help you with it. And the more you try to do it on your own, and this is a testimony from myself, you will say you're not going to do it again, and you will do it again, because you want to do it yourself, or you want to control it, but you can't control spirits. They control you. That's how it works, right? And you're not going to realize it until you start paying attention to your thoughts and realizing, I never created these thoughts. These feel-good thoughts, these bad thoughts. They're driving you, they're controlling you. They're getting you to do things you do not want to do, because you will do it and you say, I'll never do it again. But yet you're finding yourself doing the same thing you say you'll never do again. And then you start judging yourself. And when you start judging yourself, you're conspiring with the devil again. And he's just laughing at you. He's laughing at you. He's literally laughing at you, sitting back. Yeah. And you might do it and you're like, oh no, there might be a better way of doing it. Like, and then you're like, no, I'm going to do it this way. And he's leading you down into more destruction. And he's just to sit back there and laugh at you. Because you ever been in a relationship and you're like, I did this wrong. Next time I'll do it this way. That's not the woman for you. This one will make you more happy. Well, you're not happy. Maybe if you have kids, it'll make you happier. Or maybe if you buy a car. Or maybe if you buy this big house. Or maybe if you buy this jewelry. Or maybe if you buy this big nice watch. And you get it. And yet you're still miserable. Yet you're still unhappy. Yet you cry at night. Because you're not sitting with the loneliness. Sitting with the whatever you feel. You try to escape it. You try to escape it by trying to control it. Going out, drinking. Well, watch a movie. Oh, distract myself. That's the devil telling you to do all of these things. So you don't sit and be still and allow the light to shine on the darkness for you to be able to see it. It's interesting, isn't it? And this is what Adam struggled with it when he made Eve his God. The same thing. And I realized that I know the truth, but yet sometimes I don't listen to the truth, which is kind of crazy. And it makes me realize that How can I judge someone when the things that I don't want to do, if you don't catch the thoughts, you end up doing them? So how can I say these people are doing crazy things? It is crazy things, but you understand why they're doing the crazy things, right? But you can't judge them, because if you judge them, you're condemning them. And God is helping you, that is working on yourself. So you can only wish them well and hope the will of God will find them someday or sometime in their life to help them see that they're just like the person that they're judging. And you can't help yourself because you're condemning them, and by doing that you're condemning yourself, because the devil is using everyone and he's just sitting back laughing at you. What a mess. Oh Lord.
With a self-inflicted knife wound, according to reports. Local outlets say police visited a rental home in the Spanish town
Mendez. When officer arrived, they discovered Mendez.
On Thursday, after Mendez reported missing by a friend a day prior. When officers arrived, they discovered Mendez and her husband, Jared Yelling, deceased in the home. Canarias 7 stated cops determined the wounds on Mendez's body showed clear signs of violence, and the wounds on Gelling suggest that he took his own life. An autopsy will determine his official cause of death. The two reportedly suffering marital problems, with families saying Gelling was being aggressive towards Mendez and she wanted a divorce. The two were preparing for a bodybuilding competition in Portugal in a matter of weeks. According to family members who spoke with local media outlets, the plan was for the two to divorce following the trip.
See, no one ever talks about how the woman, because if I know anything, I know women, they'll drive these men to be crazy. Right? They'll make these men get aggressive towards them. And it's not necessarily a woman's fault. It's not necessarily a woman's fault, because as a man, you need to be right. But how can you be right when you're just like your mother? You're emotional. You are emotional. And the woman wants to control you. What a mess.
It was her last trip with him. A farewell, her niece told the outlet. She had decided to divorce him because of her husband's aggressive behavior. Because he was jealous, because he realized she didn't need him. He realized that she probably could get another man. And maybe he felt that she was with somebody else. Nothing's been confirmed, but
what a mess.
These men are going to crash out if they think that you've already replaced them. This is what happens, people, when you pedestalize women. Never. See, society wants you to pedestalize women. Society wants you to put them on. Never do that, because when those women disappoint you, you're going to crash out, because you've been taught and told that women should be pedestalized, and that is not true. This is why
I can agree with him on that point. That is true, because in society, the great leaders know women should not be in leadership. Women should not be in charge of a household, raising the kids. They should not be. But guess what? They know that's how destruction is, and how to make man be weak and to prop up women. That's why feminism was a thing. Feminism is a hatred of man. 100% they hated man, because they want to be just like man, which makes no sense, right? So he's speaking some facts here. He's dropping some facts here.
Hate the red pill philosophy. This is why they attack men for saying I don't worship women. I don't put women on a pedestal. They hate that, and they attack men with that mentality that yes, women are replaceable, and they attack you because they want a society full of simps and men who worship women, because they think that that's going to elevate the woman, but all it does it builds resentment and bitterness, especially if they are married to these women and they end up in a situation where that woman doesn't want them. They feel totally rejected.
That's a great point that he made. That it builds up resentment, and resentment is hate, and resentment is anger, which the red pill does have. So it's kind of funny, right? That's kind of funny.
Then what?
It's like feminism.
Fellow bodybuilders posted a series of tributes to Mendez on Instagram, calling her the kindest woman in the world. Every
Oh
second
Lord.
in my brain.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord. No, no. Those are the worst type. Worst type. Kindest woman. I disbelieve
Are
that.
good memories for her and nothing else. Rest in peace, Angel.
What makes
As I
her
said
kind?
before,
They should have gone more
this woman
details into
clearly,
that.
her
Love
bodybuilding
to know.
career seemingly was taken off, and maybe she had a wandering eye. And maybe he felt that. Maybe she didn't want to be with him because he wasn't the type of man that was going to help her take her career and her life to another level. Listen, it happened.
So it's all about her. You're not gonna help me take my career to the next level. So guess what? If that is true, I don't know how true that is, right? If you're not gonna help me elevate or to take my career to the next level, peace, deuces. And this is why most relationship, probably like 99.99% don't work. This is why. It's all about yourself. That is it. Nothing else. All about yourself and materialistic things. That's it.
Because people get rejected every day. You don't need to go out there and take their life. This guy clearly just felt that this woman didn't want nor need him anymore. But that's life. That's what happens. Women are always going to come and go. There are a lot more women out here than it is us. Crashing out over one woman, throwing everything away for one woman is insane to me. It is absolutely insane.
It is. He's insane. You're right.
This is how these men rationalize these days.
I can't have
They
you.
have programs.
No one can
and
have
by
you.
the way, we're talking about a man who's 46 years old. These two stories that I just did are men who are over the age of 40. And they too have been propagandized to pedestalize and put women on a pedestal until these women want independence. They want to leave their situation. She felt like she could do better than being with him, and he knew that.
Or she didn't want to feel lonely, and now she's getting proposition left and right. So she used you because she didn't want to be lonely, and that's what happened. That's what happened with most relationship, because woman and man hates to be alone because of how they were raised. What a mess, huh? Your parents set you up to fail. That's crazy.
She felt like she could do better than him.
And they're both in steroids.
And what does he do? He takes this route because this was his last act of control. You dudes are just weak. You're cowards. And that's why these women don't respect y'all. I don't see myself
That is facts.
crashing out on a woman that doesn't want me. Rejection is tough. It hurts. But you have to move on because you have a lot to live for. That's why God put you on this earth, for you to live and experience. But the fact that you take her life and your own because you couldn't face her leaving, or you couldn't face the consequences of your action, it just shows, the type of man you really are. Now, I'm not going to sit here and talk about how well she should.
I mean, the part where it says that God put you on this earth, yes, part of it is to live. Part of it is to experience life. But your sole purposes is to know the truth and seek after only what is right and only the truth, and to find your way back to the Father. That is your purpose. And this is not one of this purpose, to make a woman your God. Because look at what this led to. Crazy people, man. Crazy people live out there in the world, man.
The chose better and all that. I'm not about to do this nonsense. But I'm pointing out the fact that a lot of you men are weak. You're cowards. A lot of you are beta males. A lot of y'all don't really know how to be men. Even if you're in your 40s or even 50s, a lot of y'all don't know how to be men.
Okay, Jada the Black. Let's be honest here. Even the males, because they're not men, males that are making all the money, have the nice house, have the nice cars, have family, have wife, have kids. They're still beta males because they're still being controlled by a woman. They're still emotional. They don't know how to lead. Maybe you're paying for all the bills, you're paying all the rent, you take care of your family, but that still doesn't make you a man. You're still a male. You still don't know how to lead, because when the hell comes through your woman, you argue with her and she brings you into hell with her. Realistically now, come on, man.
Propagandize, to pedestalize the woman. And that's why a lot of y'all not accomplishing nothing. So let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts on the video. Don't share. Follow me on Facebook, X, Instagram. I'll see y'all next one.
Great video. Enjoy this video. Shout out to Jada Blacks, man. Like, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. This was a more longer video, but it had to be done. Peace in the Middle East. If not, at least in your hearts.